Hi, welcome back to our kitchen cave here at El Settimo Cielo in beautiful Umbria. It's a little bit of a dreary day out there, so we thought we'd come into the kitchen cave here where it's nice and warm and make some pasta. Everybody's been asking me about making pasta, so we're going to get down to business here and see what we can do. So the first thing we'll talk about is the actual pasta itself. I've made some up here and it's ridiculously easy. You can do it in the food processor or you can do it by hand. So the ratio is 1 large egg to 100 grams of tipo 00 flour is what I use. You can use a mixture of semolina, but I like the tipo because it rolls out really easily. And 100 grams of flour is usually equivalent to about 3/4 of a cup. So 1 egg to 100 grams, so 6 eggs, 600 grams, that's what I've done here. That should make quite a bit of pasta. You can see that it's quite pliable. I kneaded it up until it was pretty dense and put it in the refrigerator to let it relax. Now it's nice and cold and it's going to roll out really easily. So that's our simple egg pasta. You could also make a straight up water pasta that they use here for making pici, which we'll make another time. And it has no eggs in it, it's just using water and flour and a bit of salt. There's also a touch of salt in here. You don't have to, but I always put salt in pasta. So I have my egg pasta here. I have a nice wooden board that I've floured up and I'm ready to roll. I've got a big rolling pin that I'll also rub with a bit of flour. And let's make our first shape. So I'll take a piece of, let's see, that much pasta dough. I'll leave the rest of it covered so it doesn't dry out. So the first one we're going to do is a little tagliatelle, which I have this awesome rolling pin that I picked up at a Christmas market, and it's been turned and you can see that it has ridges in it. So you use this for making the pici, which is the regular pasta, no eggs, or you can make a tagliatelle and it'll just cut the pasta in one go. So we're going to give it a shot and see how it works. Lots of flour on the board and on the pasta. It's a little piece, so it's just going to make a little bit of this one. Rolling pin. Now, a lot of people are going to use a pasta making machine to roll it out, which is easier for sure, but this is the way that you'll find most Italians do it, unless they're making a mass quantity of pasta. They're going to roll it out by hand because it actually is pretty quick by hand. So, we're going to do it the traditional way. And you want to try and push it out in as few pushes as possible. If you rock back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, you're going to build up the gluten in the flour and it's going to start to get springy and it's going to be difficult to roll out. So the fewer pushes you can take on a big board with a big rolling pin, the better it's going to be to get it done, like that. So let's try this guy again. A little more flour, I think, on this one. And let's see whether it cut through better. There we go. Let's cut the end off here. And this end, oh, that one looks pretty good. So all I was doing is pulling them apart, laying them one side. You could use a knife to do this too, but this kind of makes a nice uniform pasta. And so tagliatelle, one of our favorites. A really great pasta to do with traditional ragu, which they make with pork or beef, mushroom sauce, or wild boar right now is happening, so you'll find a lot of wild boar ragu in the restaurant menus because it's hunting season, and super flavorful. I love it. One of our favorites. And we'll be getting some wild boar to cook with soon. And we'll be posting a recipe for wild boar ragu. So once you get really rolling here, you can be a lot faster. Dust it all down. Together, and then just give it an overhand knot. That's what you'll usually find, like that. Simple. All right. So let's try something else. There's tagliatelle not sticking. It's ready to go. That'll take about 1 minute in lots of boiling water, and it'll be ready to go. And that's enough for 2 people right there. No, it's enough for me. So, another piece of pasta. We're gonna make something else now. We've got our tagliatelle, did a couple batches of that. Let's try a different shape. So this one we won't need a rolling pin for. I'm gonna take a piece of dough like that big, about the size of an egg, I guess, when you get down to it. And my hands, I'm gonna roll it out into a log. Just pushing with the palms of your hands and pulling out at the same time. I've got a nice little log here. So one of our favorite shapes is orchietti, little ears. And this one's a little more labor intensive to make for sure, but you can see the dough's trying to pull back there. That's what I was saying about trying to get it out as quickly as possible without working the dough too much. So I'm going to cut this into, that's about a 1/2 inch log, maybe a little bigger in the middle. There we go. I'm going to cut it into 1/2 inch pieces. I've started forming some orchietti here. I've got my log rolled out to about a 1/2 inch. This one's got a little bigger. I've cut them into 1/2 inch pieces, so they're about 1/2 inch, like little pillows. Got a lot of flour here because you want your thumb to be well floured when you're doing this, and it's really simple. Flour up your thumb, push straight down and pull back a little bit so it curls, and then just push them off your thumb, and the thumb will kind of turn them inside out, and you'll end up with a beautiful little ear like that. Let's do it again. Another piece. Push straight down, pull back a little bit, roll it off your thumb, it'll grab it and turn it inside out, and you'll end up with a little ear. Another one. Thumb, straight down, pull back, curls over the tip of your thumb, push it off, boom. Look at that, perfect little ear, these are great. And once you get rolling here, and if you're doing it with a friend, it's gonna go really fast, and before you know it, you'll have enough orchietti for a meal. And sausage and rapini, absolutely, it is my #1 go-to pasta dish. And I think you'll find that many Italians, it's probably their favorite pasta dish that I talk to. There's a nice ear, look at that, that looks like an ear right there, doesn't it? Last one, flour your thumb up, push it straight down, pull back a little bit, push it off your thumb, little ear. All right, there's a pair of ears, Ernie and Bert style. Orchietti, let's try something else. So we're gonna try our hand at making some tortellini now. I've used that same egg pasta dough. I've rolled it out really thin, as thin as possible now, to about 1/8 of an inch thick. Lots of flour so it doesn't stick. I've got a couple pieces here, and let's see what we can do. Don't use a knife on your rolling board because it'll put marks in it, and then it'll be harder to roll nice flat pasta out afterwards. So use a cutting board, and we're gonna cut this guy into about 3-inch squares to do the tortellini. 3-inch squares. Yeah, like that. Like that. Like that. Get rid of this. Okay. I'm gonna work with just a couple pieces at a time so you can see what I'm gonna do here. About that big. And about that big. Trying to get them as square as you can, but you know, you don't have to be perfect. Put them down in front of you with your corner below. I'm gonna get some filling. So the filling is ricotta cheese, parmesan, some wilted kale, blend it all together to make a nice smooth paste. And we're gonna put down a nice little blob in the middle, blob in the middle, blob in the middle. One more here. Okay, make sure your hands are dry. Bring the corner towards you and make a triangle. Wham. Pinch it closed. Corner towards you. Pinch it closed. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. Although the more you do, the better it gets every time. Go back to number 1, take it, fold the tip, bring the two ends together, inside out like that, and squeeze. Tortellini. Little belly buttons. Okay? So bring the tips together, cross them down in front, fold back the corners. Oh, didn't stick together that one. Let's try that again. There it is. Tortellini. These guys are delicate. Okay, one more time. Fold the tip back, bring them in front, squeeze. And just keep going. And the more you do, the better they start to look. Grab another piece of pasta, grab our knife, into squares, into squares. A little bit of filling. That kale is nice. Dry your hands off so things don't stick. And you get a real production line going here, of course. I'm just trying to show you how to get the shape so you can start on your own. Fold them into a triangle. Okay. Point up. Cross them down in front and under. Fold the top back. Tortellini. If you have tiny hands, you can do tortellini. Those are the little guys, but I have big hands. Okay, so tortellini. Those are everybody's favorite. We're gonna do one more shape here, and that is agnolotti. Even easier than tortellini. You can use one sheet of pasta. You don't have to use two. I've got one already rolled out here pretty thin. I'm just gonna finish it off with a little bit more flour on top. Just get it super thin. For this one, I'm going to use a wine glass to cut them out. And I'm going to take my filling. Usually you'll see it with a meat stuffing, this guy. So if I look at this and just kind of get an idea, I can go like that and just make a rough imprint so I can get an idea of where I'm going to put my filling down. And then I can go in and put 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy as that. That one looks a little light. Let's put a little more. Okay, so got my filling down. Fold it in half. Get it all the way over. Make sure the filling's all nicely in there. There it is. So agnolotti are like little half moons. You can use a cookie cutter to do this. I don't have any cookie cutters here, so I'm going to use a wine glass. And I already checked for the size, so half the wine glass. If there's any filling in it, probably don't want to save it. You can just hold it up to the light. It's thin enough to see whether there's any filling in there. Take that out. But all this extra pasta that you've cut away, minus that, roll it up in a ball. Take it, add it to the stuff that you've cut before, give it another quick kneading to bring it back together. And you can use that to make more pasta, except don't try and use it right away. Take it, give it a quick knead so it comes back together. Back quickly, plastic wrap, wrap it up and let it rest in the fridge until you want to make some more pasta. Easy as that. And the agnolotti, you'll see, whoop, they're delicate. Little half moons. You can crimp them with the tines of a fork if you want, or you can just leave them like they are, which is the way I do it. Just with my finger. Keep them in flour. They're awesome. So we did a few raviolis too. Those are for dinner. Playing around. Tortellini, tagliatelle, orecchietti. We had a lot of fun in the kitchen cave again today playing with pasta. It's like Play-Doh. We love it. Join us here again. We'll do something different. Thanks for coming in. See you next time.